Hey guys, so this is a video response to some of the questions that I received after my first TaLK informational video, Teach and Learn in Korea. So I'm just going to respond to some of the questions that I received as comments. First off, I do want to say that I will be making a video in about 2 to 3 days, maybe by Friday, about the application process and about tips on applying. But first off, let me get to the questions. Application process. How long does it take for a reply after you submit your application? I remember submitting my application on like a Thursday or a Friday, and I remember being shocked at how fast I got a response. I think I got a response by Monday or Tuesday the next week. I think some people it takes a little bit longer. I applied to the LA office. The LA, the LA, there are different locations in your area, so you have to find the location that is in your area. So go to talk.go.kr to find out. But for the LA office, it was a really fast process, and I know that some people, it's usually within 2 weeks. So I'd say give them 2 weeks, and usually you'll hear back from them within that time. But you never know. They get busy, especially because I believe it's been 5 years since the TaLK program has been in action, and it's getting more popular, so I'm sure they're getting more applicants, so the process might take a little bit longer. But my process was very fast. The longest part of my waiting was after my interview. So that's the question. That's the second question. Will there be an interview? Yes, there is an interview, and the interview is after you receive a response from your application. Once you submit your application, you'll get a response. Usually the response is to have an interview where you go into the office that's near your area. What was I going to say? Yes, there is an interview. The interview, after I submitted my application, I believe I had an interview the following week. I believe. I'm not sure. But the process is very quick, and because it is a maximum of 2 years, can you teach in Korea again through EPIK after TaLK? So there are other programs in Korea, and one of the most popular ones is EPIK, and yes, the answer is yes. After teaching through the TaLK program, you can come back to Korea and work through EPIK. A lot of people actually do that, and I've heard of a couple of people who are in TaLK right now who have hopes to get into EPIK after finishing their contract here with TaLK. I think it's a good idea because you get experience in Korea, and you get something to put on your resume. So it would look good on your resume if you submitted to EPIK and had experience through the TaLK program. Also, another thing is TaLK program gives you references. So not only will you get references from the TaLK program, but your school will give you references as well. So that's a very good thing. They give you a recommendation letter, so I think that's really good. How long am I staying in Korea? I am staying here for 1 year. My contract is 1 year. Can you stay in Korea for 6 months, or does it have to be 1 year? You can stay in Korea for 6 months through the TaLK program, which is one of the unique things about the TaLK program. I'm not sure. Comment below if you know any other programs that allow you to sign a contract that's less than 1 year. The shortest amount of time through the TaLK program is 6 months. There is a 6-month contract. So I have not heard of any other program that allows you to stay for less than 1 year. I know that EPIK has 1-year contracts, but I don't think there's anything else. Let's see. Can you be married, or is it a program for single people with no kids? There are married people in the program and people with kids. The question of whether you can bring them with you, they can come with you, but the TaLK program is not going to fund you for any extra for your family, and I that if someone comes with you, I can't say don't mention it, but just, yeah. There's no extra pay for people with families, and accommodations don't change for families. So, but you can apply and get into the program if you have a husband or a wife, and if you have kids. So it's open to all types of people. Is this offered to ESL countries or restricted to only the countries mentioned in my previous video? The answer is sadly yes. It's restricted to people who are only in native English-speaking countries, which were, let's see, what did I say? Which were Australia, Canada, Ireland, New Zealand, South Africa, the UK, or USA. So it's only available for people who are in native native English-speaking countries, and so unfortunately those who have English as a second language, or not even a second language, English is probably your first language, but you live in a country that is their main first language, their native language is not English, then you cannot apply, unfortunately. So it's only to those countries that I mentioned in my previous video and just now. Where in Korea are you? I live in Gangwon-do, which is near East Sea. I live in Gangneung, which is a great little town that I love, and I still have a lot of exploring to do in my own town. You have seen my videos where I am doing a lot of exploring, going to palaces, and seeing a lot of new things, but I haven't done enough in my own town, so I want to do a little more exploring, and there's still more time for that. So, oh, also, I did not pick my location. I was sent here just randomly. During your interview, you can mention that you have a preference in location. So I recommend that also before you type up your essay, or before you, because there is an essay that's due with the application, or actually, the thing that I recommend is that you mention in your application and in your interview is if you have a specific location that you want to go to, I recommend you put it there and mention it in your interview, because you have a chance of going to that location. They do screen like what places people prefer, so you might as well try to get the location that you want. So yeah, so that's my recommendation. We get paid every 25th of the month, which is the end of the month, and only once a month. Public school or private school? I teach at a public school, and I love my school. My interview was so short. It was about 20 minutes, and it went by so fast. I think it probably was like 15 minutes. The interview was very easy. He just asked me questions about my interest in Korea, my teaching history. I've only taught for 2 weeks in Costa Rica on a mission trip with my church, and mention things like that, little things. If you tutored on the weekend or something, mention whatever you can in your essay, in your application, in your interview. Mention anything that has to do with teaching, anything that has to do with your interest in Korea, in the language, in the culture, in the food, whatever it might be. So pretty much that is my video response to some of the comments, as well as some of the random thoughts that I had on recommendations for applying and all of that stuff. So continue to send me comments, and I'll try and get you guys a video on interview tips. So thank you guys for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!